Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, I hope. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to my last live event from Costa Rica. This is our last weekend here, so heading back to the US next week. So we have just a few more days here in paradise, but thank you for joining me. If you're here today, say hello. And if you're watching on replay, please say hello with a hashtag replay. How's everyone doing today? I'm excited for this one because I have, first of all, we're going to start with a really lovely little deep neck release, a little neck massage for you all, complete with some tropical imagery that I am borrowing from a yoga friend of mine who teaches beach yoga here in Costa Rica. So we're going to do a little bit of embodiment exercise for the neck with some wonderful images of the tropical paradise. And then after that, I would love to give you a brief little tour of our space here and talk about what it's been like working here for the past month. It has been an absolutely amazing month. I have all kinds of stuff on the docket that I want to share with you, and I was hoping to answer any questions you might have about what it's like here. For those of you that have asked about, people that want to work here themselves. I know a lot of us are remote these days, and that affords us so much freedom to work from anywhere. Some of us. So I wanted to do a little neck massage, talk about Costa Rica, and then I have an announcement that I cannot wait to share with you at the end. So hello. Hey, Cassie. How are you? Great to see you. I know you were just watching the replay of the other one, so I'm glad you're here live, and then you can check out the replay of the last one I did on balance a little bit later. So what I want to do today for our embodiment / rolling exercise will require the use of one of the larger size Yamana balls. So it could be either the pearl, the gold, or the silver. All of them are appropriate. What do I have here? I have both the pearl and the silver. I'm probably going to go with the silver today because it's a little bit larger, and for the neck stretch, I like to have a little bit of a larger size. But if you have the pearl, that will work just as well, and gold will also work. Hey, Jill, nice to see you, lady. Glad to have you on here. Welcome to Costa Rica. Cassie says, I'd love to see your pelvic floor workshop. Great, we can talk about that. I have a couple of free focus minis on here about the pelvic floor, and I also have the 2-hour, 30-minute, 2-hour focus session on the pelvis, if that's what you're speaking about, Cassie, available for purchase. So message me later and we'll talk about all that. So anyway, for those of you that do have a Yamana ball, go ahead and grab whichever one that you have at your disposal. And if you have a few, I would recommend maybe the larger one of the few that you have. So I'm going to go with my silver here. And I want you to just start with the ball in the back of your neck. So you're going to lie down. Oh, let me make sure that this will still show me once I am on the floor. Okay, that should be good. Alrighty, so go ahead and take that ball and place it behind your head. I'm a little bit stuck here at the wall. There we go. I can stretch my legs out now. So what I want you to do is just get super comfy on your back. And if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, go ahead and do that. And if you prefer to keep them open, that's fine as well. If you keep your eyes open, I recommend softening your vision, softening your focus. And what I mean by that is sort of take in the space around you, the colors and the patterns and the textures, without really focusing on any one thing. So not laser focused on any one thing, but just really kind of taking it all in around you. Or like I said, you can close your eyes. Your arms can be either down at your sides or folded on your belly, whatever is comfortable. I want you to take a couple breaths. You don't have to manipulate your breath. Just notice it. So it might be shallow, it might be full. You might be feeling it more in your belly. You might be feeling it more in your chest or your back or any number of places. So just taking note of that for yourself. And becoming aware of the surface underneath of you. So whether you're on carpet or a mat or hardwood, or maybe you're on a couch or a bed, or maybe you've decided to sit for this moment, and that's fine too, but just noticing that there is something supporting you. So that surface is coming up underneath of you and creating support for your body. And just take a moment to give thanks to gravity for holding you down on this earth, so we're not all flailing wildly through space. So feeling the surface, feeling the edges of your body, noticing where your body ends and the space around you begins. And one of the things that I've really been focusing on while down here is this sort of simultaneous thing that's happening. While I'm down here, many of the people that I know are in the north where there's inches and inches of snow. And this sort of dichotomy of tropical summer paired with, cyclical four seasons going on has really been kind of a trip for me, thinking about how right now at this moment, this is where I am, and you are sharing this space with me right now. Hopefully you can hear the sounds. That sound of almost like it sounds like a dog whimpering or something, that is a bird. So noticing the sounds in your actual physical space and how they're happening at the same time in this other physical space where I am. So kind of just being in tune with the fact that many, many things are happening all at once, and you are a part of that fabric. And then this is where I want to start to share that image with you of this tropical image. So this is a friend of mine, Virginia. You can check out her page, Virginia Marie Yoga. She is based in Tamarindo, which is in the province north of here. A little bit different climate, a little bit drier than this, but she teaches yoga on the beach. And last year I had the pleasure of taking her class, and she had this image that just really resonated with me. Some of you have heard me share this before. Talking about the jaw and the tightness that we sometimes get in the neck, I want you to notice right now, where is your tongue? Where is your tongue? Many of you, your tongue may be pushing up against the palate or the roof of your mouth, or you may feel it thrusting in the front of your teeth. Wherever it is, I want you to let it go. We hold tension in our tongues as well as everywhere else. I want you to let that tension go and imagine that your tongue is a boat. And that boat is floating on the sea of the bottom tray of your mouth. So imagining that the teeth create a little ocean and that your tongue is just sailing along freely on the surface of that water. So it does not need to do any work. It doesn't need to push anywhere. It doesn't need to strain. And as you relax your tongue, I want you to notice what that does to your jaw, and you can follow that all the way back around behind you into the back of your head. And now I want you to bring awareness to the top teeth. Are you pushing your teeth together? Are your top teeth pushing down into your bottom teeth, especially back here near your TM joint, your jaw joint back there? Are you feeling like things are grinding together? Are they pushing together? If so, open your mouth for a second. Open it as wide as you can. Keep that tongue, keep that boat floating on the ocean. And when you close your mouth, I want you to think about your teeth as little fruits. I just love this image. Your teeth are little fruits like bananas and papayas and coconuts, and they're just hanging gently off of their tree. So they do not need to push down into the bottom teeth. They are simply hanging from the top of your mouth. So again, imagining that your tongue is a boat, your bottom teeth are the sea, and your top teeth are tropical fruits hanging in paradise. And I want you to take about 3 breaths here, maintaining that freedom in your jaw and in your mouth and in your neck. And after you've been here for a bit, I want you to slowly let your head, the back of your head, really melt into the ball. And you can even take your hand on your forehead to facilitate this if you want to. So don't pull your head back from your neck. Let your head just be free, but you can take your hand on your forehead and just gently push back so that the back of the neck melts into the ball, like you're just making an imprint on the sand on the beach. And then you can keep that gentle release going as you slowly start to turn your head to one side. So maybe turn towards your screen right now so that you can see me first. You can see how slow I'm going here. And I want you to turn your head as far as you can. And then when you get there, check back in with that tongue and those teeth. Open and close your mouth a couple of times. Let your tongue rest as a boat on the water, and let your teeth gently hang from the top of your mouth like tropical fruits. And then see if you can challenge yourself to turn your head a hair further. Maybe you can go a degree further. Most of us tend to not access our full range of motion. Once you've turned your head as far as you can, I want you to let this take you all the way to your side. So you're going to actually, as much as you can, keep your head connected to the ball. You can come off of it if you need to. But I want you to actually turn onto your side. And if it's available to you, I want you to take your arm behind you. So it's really going to be the front of your shoulder on the floor. If need be, you can have your arm underneath of you instead, bend at the elbow, and have your forearm come out of the crook of your waist. But if it's available to you, let me show you from the back what that looks like. Have your arm all the way back here with the palm facing down. Okay? So give yourself a couple breaths here. That palm behind you if it's available. Your legs can do whatever they need to do to stabilize you. And then just take your hand on the side of your head and give yourself a little wrapping around the ball. So you're stretching that neck over the ball. You're getting a nice gentle massage in the side that's touching the ball. And at the same time, you're getting this really lovely up and over stretch of the other side. So you're arcing that neck over the ball. And as you're doing this, check back in with your jaw, with your tongue. If you need to, open and close your mouth. This is really wonderful for people that have TMJ issues, as well as headaches, migraines, all that kind of stuff. This is just a little taste of some of this work. But if this is you, if you're one of these people that has one of these issues, once we get up out of this exercise, let me know in the comments and we can chat a little bit more about that. Once you've been here for a bit, go ahead and just keep your head glued to the ball and slowly turn your face toward the floor. This is going to bring the ball more into the side of the jaw. And again, there, open and close your mouth. Once you close your mouth, returning to that free state in your mouth. Tongue like a boat, teeth like fruit. Thank you, Virginia, for this absolutely lovely image. When you're ready, keep your head glued to the ball and start to turn your head towards the ceiling or the sky, as the case may be. And now you're going to go back more towards the sort of behind the ear a little bit. You can always add in this assist with your hand if you want to, creating a little more pressure in the ball. Couple breaths here. And when you're ready, you're going to stay on your side to get up. You're just going to kind of come up out of this. Do whatever it is that, I'm turning into the headless Yamuna practitioner here. Do whatever it is that you need to do to sort of shake that out a little bit. I like to do kind of just bobble heads. And then when you're ready, we're going to do the other side. So when you're ready, if you want to reorient your body so that you're still facing the screen, head's going to go at the opposite end now. And the ball's going to go in the other side of the neck. And once again, bring that arm behind you so that your palm, this is just a nice arm opener. If that's too much of a stretch, again, you can keep your arm underneath of you. Resist the urge to keep your arm out here in front of you. That really breaks the alignment of the ear to shoulder connection. So resist that urge if possible. Rather be here or here. Same thing here. Wrapping over. Using your hand to press that side of the neck into the ball, gentle neck massage, and also enjoying that stretch of the other side of the neck, up and over, arcing over the ball. Open and close your mouth a couple of times as needed. Good. And then when you're ready, just keeping that contact with the ball, turning the head towards the floor, feeling the ball pressing gently into the side of the jaw. Couple of breaths, open and close the mouth. And when you're ready, turning your head the other way. Again, totally staying like you're glued to the ball. So it's tempting sometimes to kind of lift up first. It's not going to be bad if you do that, but you're not going to get quite as much out of it. So as you're able, keep the head connected, keep the neck connected, looking up at the sky. Again, if you want to add in a little down and around, feeling the ball pressing into that area behind the ear. This is a place I notice a lot of tension when I wear sunglasses. So if you're someone that wears glasses on a regular basis, this might feel a little tender to you. couple of breaths. And opening and closing the mouth. And you can, of course, stay here as long as you want to. This is the kind of thing that you could stretch out, and you could stay here for 20 breaths if you wanted to, especially if you're finding places that are tender. For now, I'm going to get up, but you can be welcome to stay there if you want to. I'm going to get up and do my little bobblehead here. A little, feels so good and free. You can maybe do some shoulder shrugs, shoulder rolls, feel that freedom there. This, again, is just a little taste, a little peek at some of the deep neck work that we can do. But I think even just that tiny little bit is really effective. So, how are you feeling? Let me know in the comments if you tried that, how that felt for you. If you don't have a ball, don't fear. You can message me and we can figure out a way. If you're in Columbus, I can get you a couple loaner balls, or I do free contactless delivery if you want to purchase your balls. If you're not local, I can help you get the balls local as well. So, what did you think of that tropical image? I just think that it's adorable, first of all, when you think of your teeth like little fruits. But it really resonated with me when I was taking that class with her last year on the beach. I was lying in the sand looking up at the sun, and it just, as soon as she said that, like, let your tongue be like a boat floating on the water, immediately I felt the entire sides of my face soften. And it was just very effective to me. I see Lynn. Hey, Lynn, nice to see you, lady. She says, lovely. Yeah, I love this little neck release. Okay, so if you're still in the zone and you're still feeling wonderful, carry on. There's no need to get up at all right now, and you can just listen. But I wanted to talk now. Here's Cassie. She says, I practice later. I've been multitasking while watching you. No problem, Cassie. But from here on out, you can just listen if you want. So I just wanted to tell you guys, I mean, this has been such an amazing experience here, and I just wanted to basically share it with you and talk a little bit about what it's been like here. First of all, how many of you have had Costa Rica on your bucket list for a long time? I find that whenever, especially like last year when we came for the first time, whenever I would tell people I'm heading to Costa Rica, everyone says, oh, I've always wanted to go there. It's always been my dream. I totally relate to that. That was my husband's dream as well, which is how we ended up down here last year and again this year. And it looks like it's going to be the case for years to come. So I just wanted to tell you about this particular place in Costa Rica. So we are in Uvita, Costa Rica, which is in the southern Pacific coast. So if you're not familiar with the geography of Costa Rica, it actually borders both the Atlantic Ocean, Caribbean Sea, as well as the Pacific Ocean. Last year, we had the honor to travel around the whole country. We saw both sides. We saw both coasts, traveled up and down both sides for several weeks. We did like a 3-week road trip. But we fell in love with this region, and we've spent the entire month here this time. And this region is called the Costa Baena, and that consists of about 3 towns. And Baena means whale. So the reason this place is astounding. It is magical. And all of Costa Rica is magical, but this place in particular, and I wanted to tell you some of the things about this area, why it's so amazing. So the Wales Coast, Jill, me, yeah, Lynn, me. Well, you guys are in luck because you might have the opportunity next year. Stay tuned. So the Wales Coast, there's 2 reasons that this place is called the Wales Coast, and they're both magical reasons. The first reason is that there is a double whale season here. So a lot of places have like a short 2 or 3 month whale season when the whales migrate and have their babies and nurse their young. This particular place is special because there are 2 whale seasons. There is one season where the whales come up all the way from Antarctica, and they have their babies here. They stay for like 4 months. They have their babies here. They nurse their babies here. They frolic in the water. The water is famously warm here. The water is about 84 degrees Fahrenheit. So when you go in the ocean, you know how normally when you go in the ocean, even in like warm places, there's like a chill. That is not true here, which is good for me because I require it to be very, very hot to go swimming. I don't like to swim in cold water at all. So here it's like almost like jacuzzi water, which might sound too warm, but trust me, it's not. It's frothy. It caresses you. It's beautiful. So for that reason, the whales like it here. So the whales come up from Antarctica for part of the year. The other part of the year, the whales come down from the Pacific Northwest and Alaska and have their babies here. So that's currently the season that we're in right now. Obviously, it's wintertime up there right now. And so there are whales here right now. And so basically, like, so half the year, there's a really good chance of seeing whales, and even the other parts of the year, there's still whales here. There's also lots of dolphins here. So we went on a whale and dolphin tour last week or sometime, and saw lots of mama whales with their babies spouting their water out, just like you see in the movies or on National Geographic and stuff. Also, we got to see lots of dolphins doing you know how they like to play with the boat, so they were swimming all around us and jumping up and down. It's just unbelievable. So I finally got to see whales and dolphins in the wild. But anyway, that's the first reason that this is called the Costa Ballena, because whales come from 2 places in the world to nurse their young. The second reason is probably my favorite. There is a natural feature here called the whale's tail. And what it is, you can Google it right now if you want, whale's tail uvita, and it'll pull up multiple photographs and things. What it is this gigantic sandbar that is only exposed during low tide. And I mean, it's huge. When I say gigantic, like you walk out on it and it I don't know how big it is in size. I'm terrible with measurements and stuff, but it feels like miles long. It's probably not quite that big, but it feels really big. It's only exposed during low tide, and when it is exposed, it is the spitting image of a whale's tail, I swear. It looks like a whale's tail, and even if you look on like Google Maps and Google uvita, you'll see it. It's this little piece of land that sticks out, and it's shaped exactly like a whale's tail. It's just unbelievable. So what a coincidence, right? There's this natural feature that looks like a whale, plus the whales love it here and come all the time. So for that reason, this region is called Costa Ballena. I really encourage you to Google pictures of the whale's tail. During high tide, you can see some of it, but mostly it's underwater. And you can have the pleasure of going out onto it. You enter through the national park and walk out, and there's literally a beach on both sides. You walk out into the flank of the tail, and over here's a beach with waves crashing up, and over here's a beach with waves crashing up, and you can choose or play in both or whatever. So that's one way to experience the whale's tail. Or you can drive up to the mountains, which we'll get to in a second. Not only is this place on the beach, but it's also at the foot of the mountains. So you can drive up the mountains and get a bird's eye view of the whale's tail at low tide, and it is breathtaking. So that's probably the biggest, most famous feature of the Costa Ballena is the whale's tail sandbar. So Lynn says she just Googled it. What'd you think, Lynn? Isn't it amazing? You can find drone videos of it. I mean, there's so much out there. I was thinking I might try to have something on my phone to hold up and show you, but just Google it. You'll find it, and you'll see how ridiculously amazing it is. So anyway, that said, that's the first thing about this particular area that I love. I already mentioned it's also in the mountains, or at the bottom of the mountains. So the mountains literally come right up to the beach. The mountains are thickly forested with rainforest, and the rainforests come right up to the sand. Lynn says it's amazing. Yeah, it is. So it's like you see in movies, and you see it your wildest dreams. There's trees that come right up to the sand, and you can sit under the trees and have your feet in the water. Well, that exists here. You can totally do that here, and it's incredible. So I think if any of you have seen the little teaser video that I posted about my retreat, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you about a retreat in a second. If anyone's seen that teaser video here in the group, I'm walking through the jungle, there's a little trail, and you can hear the ocean, and then you come, there's a little clearing, and you come out, and it's literally right on the beach. So it's everything that you want, and I never can decide when we're at the beach, is it more beautiful to look out at the water, because there's all these little islands and stuff out there too. That's beautiful, but if you're in the water and you turn around and you look at the beach, and it's flanked by mountains and the cloud forest, you can see the clouds floating over the mountains up there. I never can decide which is more beautiful, because it's just all so good. So we have the mountains, we have the beach, we have the rainforest. We also have countless waterfalls here. Amazing waterfalls, waterfalls with these beautiful bubbling blue pools that you can swim in, and the water in the waterfalls is cooler. So if you're someone who doesn't want the warm water, you can go take a dip in these waterfall pools, and it's just amazing. So we have all of that, all of the waterfalls around here. Some of them even have this one that we just went to the other day, Uvita Waterfall, actually has a natural water slide. It's pretty high up there. I don't know how high. I don't know. I'm pretty bad at distance and measurements again, but it's 30, 40 feet up in the air. You climb this little rope ladder, and then you, just like if you're at a water park, you cross your arms and you go shoom straight down, and you fall into this beautiful, crystal clear, fresh, spring water pool. It's great. So we have all of those natural features here, plus all of this insane wildlife. So since we've been here, we've seen sloths, and this is all in the wild. And you can also go to like sanctuaries and stuff and see them really up close. But just in the wild, we've seen sloths, lots of toucans and akaris and macaws, and there's 400 different kinds of tropical birds here. Obviously, I don't know what they all are, but I know a few, and we've seen all of those. There's 4 different kinds of monkeys. We've seen 2 of them so far, several times. Usually they go in families. We had a family come through our yard here the other day with the mama and the baby on the mama's back, and the baby was like playing in the trees and swinging from branch to branch, and the mama was like, no, it's too dangerous. I mean, she was like, you could tell, like, you could just read the mothering on her face. She was like, please be careful, and the baby was like, look what I can do. It's just like, you could just sit outside and for hours and hours and not do anything else, and you're totally entertained. We've also seen crocodiles, lots of different kinds of lizards. Let's see what else. We wanted to see a tapir, which we didn't. We have not seen a tapir yet, but they do exist here, I'm told, as well as anteaters. There's jaguars here, which we also haven't seen, probably a good thing. Lots of other kinds of really common animals like coatis, and I don't know the names of all of them, but things that are like raccoons and lots of those kinds of animals that are really common in the north. Totally different versions of them down here. I had a list of the animals. Let me see if I forgot any that we've seen. I said the whales and dolphins. Oh, the butterflies. The butterflies are just insane. There's this one blue butterfly. It's called a morpho, I think, morpho butterfly. It's like this big around. When it flaps its wings, it's like a hand span. And you can only see its color when it opens its wings, and it's this bright, brilliant, fluorescent blue, and it's like shiny. And so when it flies around, you just see these little like flashes of blue light. It's really incredible. We also saw, last animal that really blew my mind, I'll tell you about right now. We were taking a walk through the rainforest a couple weeks ago, and Jack actually spotted this, poison dart frog, which I guess were made famous in the Indiana Jones movies, which I haven't seen since I was a kid, so I didn't recognize that reference, but they're just like this big and bright green and black, and their skin is poisonous. So apparently indigenous people would like use their, like dip their arrowheads and stuff like in their skin, get the oils on the arrowheads, and they'd be deadly weapons that way. So don't touch them if you see them, but they're really, really cool looking and bright green and black, really cool. So yeah, the wildlife is incredible. Let me just check and see. I feel like there's so many things I wanted to tell you about. I want to make sure I didn't forget. Oh yeah, the fruits. The fruits are awesome here. I'll show you in a second. I'm going to just walk you around our balcony. But we have a papaya tree in our yard. Coconuts grow like out the wazoo, like everywhere you go on the beach. There's more coconuts than people can eat. And you can buy them from like at little stands and stuff. They'll take a little like screwdriver or a little drill, pop a hole in it, and put a little straw in there, and you just drink the coconut water right out of the coconut, which I'm not usually a fan of the like boxed coconut waters that you can get at the store, even though they're really healthy for you, but it tastes different coming from a real coconut. So that's actually delightful, a little delightful treat. So that said, I'm going to walk you around now. I don't think that I can I think I'll leave the internet. And I don't want that to happen, obviously. So I'm just going to give you a little view here of what we've been living with. So this is our yard. There's the jungle. This is where we've seen all the monkeys and the birds. And there's a little trail down there you can see that goes right to a river. So we have a river that runs right through this property, and if you follow the river, it goes all the way to the beach. That's the other really cool thing. There's all these mountain rivers that go right up to the beach water. So you can stand right where the rivers are coming right up, and then the waves are lapping up to meet the river water. It's really neat. So we have all of that stuff there. Here's our papaya tree. I want to see if you can see the papayas. They are not ripe ones before we leave, unfortunately. But I guess it's quite a feat to harvest them. This is more of the yard that we have here. So I just want you to get a feel of like what the landscape is like. It's just exactly like you imagine. Palm trees and huge fronds and banana trees all over the place. And while I'm doing this, I want to announce to you, this is more like, but I want to announce 2022 Costa Rica retreat here in Uvita, 7 nights. It's going to be February 13th through 20th. I'm not going to announce the exact location yet. It is booked, but we're still working out some things with the owners. So I want to wait until everything is 100% solidified. But it's 100% happening, February 13th through 20th. The venue is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is nestled in the jungle. It's on the side of a mountain. It's on the banks of two rivers that have their confluence right on the property. It's the Baena rivers and the Uvita rivers. And where they meet, they create this unbelievable pool of water. It is crystal clear. You can see all the way to the bottom. It's pretty deep, actually, right there. It's probably like 5-6 feet right there. Beautiful pool that you can swim in anytime you want to. It has a gorgeous yoga deck surrounded. It has screens and stuff, but it's surrounded by nature. And they were saying that the macaws love to hang out right there. So you can be like lying on your back, rolling, and look up and see like a macaw fly by or whatever. You wake up every morning to the possibility of howler monkeys. The howler monkeys, it's not a beautiful sound. If you've ever, Google this too. Google the sound of a howler monkey. It's actually a pretty gruff sound. I was joking with someone that it's the sound of testosterone because these monkey, like the males are the leaders and they guide their group through the canopies. And they make this sound that's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's really funny, but they love to do it at like dawn. And by the way, dawn happens here at 5:30 in the morning every day. We're 8 degrees above the equator here, so the sun rises and sets at about 5:30 a.m., 5:30 p.m. every day of the year. But anyway, yeah, you will maybe wake up to howlers at this retreat, but even though it's like not the most pleasant sound, it's super exciting. If you hear them, you might see them and they're adorable. So if you see them, it's always a real treat. So anyway, yeah, this location, all 3 meals are going to be included on site. There's obviously a swimming pool. All places here have swimming pools. There's a lovely fire pit. I'm going to give you a brief rundown of the itinerary. Obviously, it's not set in stone yet. We're talking about a year from now, but I'm thinking every morning, sunrise on the river. Do a little meditation down at the river every single morning, followed by breakfast, followed by our morning rollout class. Followed by a little bit of free time and lunch. And then every day there'll be about 4 hours of free time for anyone to do whatever they want to do, whether it's rest or maybe I'll probably have a couple bonus classes that'll be available to take, or you could schedule a private session with me, or you could do your own little excursion. Every day around 4:30 or so, we're going to hop in the taxis and head on down the mountain. It's about 10 minutes down to the bottom of the mountain. We're going to do sunset on the beach every single day, and it is probably my favorite part of every day. Sunset on the beach is awesome. Followed by another, of course, all the dinner is locally grown and they have a garden on site, so most of it comes from the garden. All dietary restrictions can be accommodated. So then we'll come back from the beach, have dinner, and every night we'll finish with a restorative bed class before bedtime. So that we can get our digestion going, we can get really ready for sleep. And as I said, there'll be some bonus classes in there during the day as well. And then I have a couple excursions planned. We're going to do a hike to Uvita Waterfall, the one that has the water slide that you go down. And of course, that'll be optional, but I highly recommend it. And that's the basic itinerary. So save the date because this is going to be absolutely amazing. For those of you that have had this on your bucket list, this is your chance to do it with everything kind of planned out for you. And of course, I have already talked to some people that are going to extend it and make like a vacation out of it. So obviously you could do that if you want. But here's a way that you can experience the waterfalls, the beach, the mountains, the rainforest. Hey, Cassie, yeah, good stuff. Basically everything all the wildlife, all of the plant life and all of the fruits and everything. All of it is here. It's all going to be ready for you. Everything planned out so you don't have to do the planning unless you want, because you'll have all that free time during the day to do any excursions that you want to do. So yeah, once I make it official, once I get some loose ends tied up with the owners, I'm going to make it official, and you guys can start reserving your spots. Of course, it's going to be first come, first serve. It's not, the capacity is 20 to 30. And I think 30 would be a lot, but I think it would be really cool. But it's a big place. It's got lots of land, so there's lots of room to spread out. Cassie, to answer your question, the dates will be February 13th through 20th, 2022. So about 1 year from now. So we have a year to prepare. There will be a lot of things that you'll want to do beforehand. Obviously, you're going to need a passport. Assuming COVID will be over by then, there won't be any of those restrictions. But I will be your personal travel guide beforehand. I will be providing checklists of things that you should pack, things that you should do before you come, all of that stuff. I'll be your personal concierge in that way, since I've already been there, and it'll be my third trip to Costa Rica at that point. So that will be part of my job. Will be helping you sort things out. I am thrilled. I have been wanting to do something like this for a long time, and I had found the place, and actually my husband found it, so we have to give him some major props. He was just driving around and he found it. I've seen several places, and this one takes the cake. So if there's any questions, let me know. I don't see any questions right here, right now. And also, I know at the very beginning we were talking about the jaw stuff. If anybody has, Cassie says her passport's ready. Awesome. If anyone has jaw issues and you have questions about that, feel free to either hit me up here in the comments, or you can message me or text me or anything like that. But yes, Pura Vida, baby, the pure life. That's the motto of this country, and you are going to experience it firsthand. Let me help you check this off your bucket list. So let me know what questions you have. Keep your eyes open, because I'm going to be announcing it pretty soon officially, and reservations can begin pretty soon officially. So when that happens, let me know. If you definitely know you're interested, type it in the comments here, because I'm keeping a running list of people that I already know for sure. I have about 11 or 12 right now that are like pretty much, I think, definite. So it will be a first come first serve basis. So if you want to be on that list of people that get the official email announcement, let me know here in the comments, so that I can keep you in the loop. I don't want anyone to be left out. All right, everybody. Well, again, this is my Lynn says she wants to extend her stay. Yeah, I highly recommend it. If you want to do like a 2 or 3 week trip out of it, start with a retreat. Because, I forgot to mention that your transportation to and from the airport will be included in this. So probably makes sense to do it at the beginning. Obviously, if you're not going to fly back out right away, that's fine. That part doesn't have to be included. But anyway, yeah, Pura Vida. Say bye to Costa Rica for now from the background. You'll be able to see it next year in real life. Can't wait. Thank you all for being here. Love to all. Hasta luego.